Hey guys, I know you've already seen the thumbnail. I know you know what this video is about, but I'm still keeping it out of frame for just a little bit. I am so excited about having the new 2023 300XC in the shop, ready to rock and roll. Here it is, guys. First look, let's take a look at everything. There she is. Absolutely drop dead gorgeous motorcycle. I honestly really like the way this thing looks. First impression when I walked up was like, man, that thing looks sharp, looks small, and it looks fast. So that's good. That's, you know, who cares about all that stuff in the long run, because it depends on how it performs. But it is really nice to see a bike and have it look really good. I've been walking around this thing with all my friends here for the last few minutes and going over everything that I think is new and all that. So let's dive in. Let's start with the first thing. It is a TBI, which is throttle body injection. It's got two injectors. Let's take a look in here. I think one here, there's one just behind that. They're kind of stacked in next to each other. It is a Kian throttle body. It does still have a crankcase pressure sensor, but it's a very different setup. It's got a big tube here, and I don't know if the sensor's the same, but anyway, that's a lot better setup, I think. Next thing right there, as you can see, is the electronic power valve. Honestly, that is the thing I am most concerned about. Not in, I don't know, it's not all bad and it's not all good. The throttle body injection I'm excited about because it's basically just their 4-stroke injection put onto a 2-stroke. I think it's the way they should have gone from the get-go with 2-stroke fuel injection, but whatever. TPI to me was a bit of a failure. Electronic power valve. Let's talk about why that is cool and what I'm a little bit worried about. The cool part is that when you hit this map button, it's got a, you know, advanced map and normal map, or, you know, whatever. We'll dive deep into these things in future videos. By the way, make sure you subscribe because we're going to be going deep into this thing. When you change that map, it not only changes the fuel and ignition, it also changes the power valve curve. So that's actually going to make this thing make like a big difference in the map. I'm pretty excited about that. Part I'm worried about is that it's an electronic power valve. It could break. A wire could break, rub on, whatever. Anyway, I'm excited about it. Next big thing over here on this side of the bike, foot peg is huge and very thin. I like that. Should keep it out of the rocks a little bit better. The thing a lot of people have been talking about is the kickstand. It's very nice, cast aluminum, all one solid piece, no foot on it anymore. Much more solid, you know, engagement. Also, the pivot thing is here. Not on the frame, the pivot is on the frame, not on the kickstand, so hopefully that thing's not going to fly off like they were on the old ones. Bike comes with 1449 gearing and an O-ring chain. It is a 6-speed transmission. They screwed up the initial press release with a 5-speed, but it is a 6-speed manual transmission. I haven't even sat on this bike to ride it around the parking lot yet, so don't ask me those questions, but please ask questions below. If there's something I missed, something you want to know, make sure you comment below and I will get to you. Let's talk about the brakes. Fortunately, they have not changed. It's still good Brembo brakes. Galfer rotors. Rear axle is the larger rear axle. Like on all the XCs and SXs, they did not go back down. There was rumor that was going back down. Obviously, 18-inch wheel. They put a Dunlop AT81 on the back, which I actually think is a fine rear tire. But they went to an MX-33F, MX-33F front. They got rid of the AT81 front. Very happy about that. I hate that tire. Super excited to ride and try that one out. I've actually never run a 33 front. The silencer is crazy short. I can't honestly believe how short that silencer is. It's, we'll see. Right now, it's not very loud. Don't worry, we are going to fire it up. You guys are going to get to hear the thing, but it's not very loud. They did not change the shape of this, the end, so the old Enduro Engineering spark arresters do fit. I have one. I'm going to put that thing on before I ride it. Seat. Let's talk about the seat. I love this seat because it's got one bolt. It's up here out of the dirt and mud. I always liked the one bolt that was underneath, but it did get covered in mud and, you know, gunked up. This one's now out of the mud and everything. Might make seat covers a little bit harder to install, but whatever. I like that. We'll take that off here in just a second. So let's talk about the radiator shrouds, guys, because actually it makes the bike really narrow up front. Some bikes, you know, they kind of flare out like that. They've tucked these in. It's really tight to the forks, but it clears just fine. It's been no problem. Gas tank, 2.26 liter, or 2.26 gallon tank. Let me check that. Actually, excuse me, 2.25. So 2.25 gallons is all that tank holds. That's not a lot, but we will be finding out exactly how far this will go mileage-wise. So again, make sure you subscribe, guys. I cannot stress that enough. If you are interested in this bike and you might want to get one and you didn't get your name on one early, you really want to pay attention to this channel, because I'm going to be going super, super deep into this thing and then also beating the living crap out of it and finding out if it's any good. So I like the shrouds. I like the tank. It feels narrow, all that good stuff. Now, radiator. The cap seems like, I don't love it. It's plastic. That's kind of I don't like that. Also, it's almost impossible to remove. So I did get it off with a tool, but you got to push down and turn it anyway. It doesn't have much like leverage on it. It doesn't have the wings like the old. Anyway, not a big fan. Let's talk about the cockpit. So we've got, what are these bars? I don't even know what these things are. Neckin bars. That's the part number if you care. I will be putting my own bars on it. I'm going to ride this thing, by the way, here in just a little bit. I'll be suiting up and taking this thing to our desert and riding this thing bone stock. I'm not even going to put mooses in the tires. It's going to be exactly like it is. Stock suspension settings, stock everything. I'm not changing anything for the first few rides. So yeah, anyway, it's going to be cool. So neck and bars, we've got start stop button here together on the right. I probably will be moving that over there eventually. This is, like I said before, a map switch. Brakes, all the hydraulics are the good old school Brembos. Very happy to see that. Brembo master cylinders, you know, on both. I love Brembo stuff. Throttle is really light. It's a 2 cable setup, as you would expect for a throttle body. Super, super light. Fork guards. It's got the more wraparound fork guards, which I really like. You can see they come way in back here, tuck way over here, hopefully protecting me from scratching that, which would be good. Front fender looks good, about like the other ones really. That didn't change much. Front number plate looks pretty good. I like that. Got the hour meter up here, which is also on the XCs. It is the FI light, so it will tell you if you're having a trouble code of any kind up there. Also, new update to this is that it has the temperature sensor in it, unlike the unlike the XCs of 22 and back. You can plug a fan into this thing and it will read the temperature off the motor, like the computer, and tell it when to turn the fan on. So I'm excited about that. Premix, I'm very happy about that. No oil pump on this thing. It's just the throttle body fuel injection. Now let's talk about, to me, the elephant in the room, the thing I really, really wish they hadn't done, but they removed the Kickstarter. And any way to put a Kickstarter on it, it is not there. So that bums me out, because I like that backup. I know I'm going to have a bunch of guys yelling at me about how their thing never had a problem, blah, 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 blah. I've told the story about my 125 starter failing at 50 hours at a race and how happy I was to have the Kickstarter. But anyway, whatever. I wish it was there. I wish we had the option. It's not. Okay. It will bump start, though. This bike will bump start. It has the capacitor inside the airbox. Speaking of airbox, let's take a look at that. So go here. This pulled open. You just reach up in here. Boom. Comes right off, actually. I like that a lot. Air filter is a weird shape. now. Still has a 2-pin setup, but boom, comes out. But there we go. I had to put a little more oil on it. That's why it's a little bit because it didn't have enough oil for me. But airbox, nice and open. I like that. There's the capacitor right there. So it does have the capacitor. It will be able to be bump started even without a battery. I will test that in the future. Let's talk about the forks. I have not ridden it, so I don't know how they work, but they are all new internals. They are still AER or air forks. The spring is still on the left. Same recommendations on amount of air for whatever as it was before. Adjuster on the right. We've got compression adjust, rebound adjust is on the bottom. It's also toolless. There we go. I like that. I don't know about the plastic part down there. I'll probably break it. We'll see, but hopefully not. Let's see, pipe. Pipe is all brand new. Got rid of the crinkly pipe, which I like. I think this looks better. Also, I don't know that did anything for strength. Also, the pipe is further up now, which is going to make this less likely, but still going to bend because it's a 2-stroke, but it's less likely to hit as many rocks. So I'm excited about that. Comes with a skid plate. Actually, pretty darn nice skid plate. Decent coverage. Up here, pretty thick plastic. Seems like the ones that Cherbus makes probably is made by Cherbus. I like these bolts back here. That's nice. Let's see how the coverage over here looks. Yeah, ignition cover side looks pretty good. I'm actually pretty happy about that. So yeah, these are the holes to get it off. So you go in there. So that's all protected. I like that. It's not, doesn't have bolts, you know, where they're going to get hammered. Brembo slave cylinder. You guys, someone asked about what parts I had found for this thing already. And what up, Tim Hines? There's Tim Hines from Adrenaline Vans. He wants to come and look at my brand new KTM also.
Oh, it's the wrong color.
It is,
orange.
But it's orange.
I mean,
yeah.
you're into that sort of thing.
if you like that kind of thing. So you guys have been asking what I've found to put on this thing. So let's take a look at the giant pile of parts I'm very excited to install on this bike. Extreme Moto Parts. This is the fan kit. I'm very excited because, like I said, it's got the fan and then it comes with the KTM relay, so I can just plug that directly into the bike and the computer will tell it what temperature it is when to turn it on. Going to be putting a 52 DDC rear sprocket on it. Like I said before, it comes with a 49. So I always run a DDC. Going to go up to a 50. That's been my favorite gearing recently on my other 300. Definitely putting a Mako 360. Got the super cool guy blackout one. I've showed you guys that online before. Really, really amped about that. It's beautiful and it's going to be awesome. Now I have 2 sets of disc guards that I'm going to be testing. I have the System Tech Racing disc guards, which I really like. It's aluminum with G10 below, super strong, super light front disc guard. You guys have seen that on my other bikes. Also from System Tech Racing, we got a brake reservoir cooler, big brake pedal, high-speed adjuster, which I'm not going to need on that, but we have an oil fill plug. We've got the radiator, the caliper radiator, excuse me, and bleeders for that. Then we're moving to bulletproof designs. I had a lot of bulletproof designs. By the way, huge thank you to everyone. All of these were provided. So much. Just thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, also bars. I'm going to be putting my Pro Taper Woods Highs. These are nice Evos. They're actually given to me by one of you guys, and I wish I could remember who gave it to me. So thank you. I apologize for not writing your name down. I'm really sorry about that. But those will eventually go on. Also from Bulletproof Designs, we got front disc guard, rear disc guard, caliper guard, levers, fork lug protectors. Obviously that, you know, whatever. Swing arm guard. This does fit the new swing arms. Radiator guards, hands down best in the business. We got axle blocks, cool guy, and we have cool guy foot pegs with interchangeable spikes. Then for Moto Minded, we've got the Bomber switch. Billet aluminum with sealed switches. Super excited about that. That goes like I said, I'm going to put it on the left-hand side. Then we will obviously be revalving the suspension. We already have specs from TBT. He's already been testing this chassis, Travis has, so we will be getting those things dialed in. But I'm going to ride it bone stock. I'm not even going to... Oh, I also have Enduro Engineering flag handguards that I'm going to be putting on. Get rid of these things. These things are ugly and I don't like them. But again, going to ride it stock for a little bit. Some of you guys might be wondering, what does your new bike come with for all that money? By the way, out the door, this thing was right around $12,500, which is a stupid amount of money. It hurts me a little bit. Fortunately, I was able to sell the 125 and then sell a whole bunch of other people's bikes for them to pay for almost all of it. And then the rest of it came out of the checking account. But, you know, whatever. That's too much money. But what do they come with? Not much. They do not come with a manual. I had to print that. Well, actually, Davis was kind enough to print me off a manual. Whatever. They come with the bolts. There they are. And the little covers so that you can put your own handguards on and get rid of those ones. A spoke wrench of some sort. And these guys, which I think are to stiffen up the handlebar mounts. I think they go here to get rid of the rubber. I'm not sure, I haven't figured that out exactly. They come with a few little extra fuel filters, and then they come with this dongle. You guys might be wondering what this dongle is. I was wondering what it was. I had to look it up, and I'll show you where it goes. Also, let me show you how the seat works. That comes out. Then we take the seat and we push it forward. Boom. There we go. That is the diagnostic tool. That dongle goes right here. You take this off. Then you, okay, so what it's for is to reset the power valve, the electronic power valve. So you unplug that. It's just a, you know, whatever, it just plugs in to hold it. You take that off. You set the throttle at half throttle, which, you know, it's hard to say exactly what half it, but anyway, you set it at half throttle, you plug the dongle in, the power valve will go zzz, zzz, make noise, whatever. It sets the end points of that. It knows that you're in half anyway, whatever. And then you know, whatever. So that's pretty cool. But also, hopefully I don't have to have it. Quick, let's take a look at under the seat. Pretty slick. ECU, battery, lithium battery, small little guy, obviously. Fuel pump has its own fuse. Then the main fuse is down in there on the starter solenoid. Got the plug-in for this, which is, I like this. It's actually nice and easily accessible. Got, so you can pop that off. Got the same style where, oh yeah, there we go. Haven't even looked at this thing. Obviously fuel connector there, pop that off. There's a filter in there like normal. Then the tank comes off. Guys, I am going to be going through this thing tip to tail with you on YouTube, doing every last piece of this thing. So make sure you subscribe. But for now, it's time to go ride this motorcycle. Oh, also, almost forgot. I just weighed it full of fuel. This thing comes in at 238 pounds, well, 238.6 pounds. So that's with gas. They're claiming 220 dry. That's pretty darn close because 2.25 gallons of gas. It's a little shy, I guess. There's a tiny bit of fuel missing there, but not much. We'll call it full. We'll call it 2.25 gallons at 8 pounds a gallon. That's 16 plus a little bit. So that's right in there. It's right at 220 dry, guys. This thing is light. Feels light pushing it around. But yeah, that's enough of this. I gotta go ride this motorcycle. It's sitting here staring at me. I'm gonna film that too, so make sure you subscribe, guys. And yeah, let's go ride the brand new motorcycle. Oh wait, guys, I almost forgot. I told you guys to get to hear this thing. I like it. Also, quick note, KTM still recommending 60 to 1 Motor X2T in these things, that they're premix. I did put EE spark crusher on there, so I can go ride this thing legally out in the desert right now. So anyway, now I'm gonna go ride this bike.